Good morning, folks. It's 7:56 a.m. on the third month, second day, 2025. Gee, look at the squareness of that, huh? That's not a big round, moving, I don't know, cyclonic looking thing. Hey, what's this here? Another Ken cruiser going by, refracting ice. Yeah, I got quite the imagery to show you guys today. This is the visible imaging that shows various temperature difference in the clouds, and this is the shadow because the sun is starting to set, and that's going to have a great effect on the center of the storm, right? Because the radiation of heat out into the space is a lot easier on a less clouded area, and the eye here is a little less clouded. Hey, look at a Ken cruiser over here. Look, doing its bit, spraying it up, putting those cyclone seasons down. Hey, look at the right angle on that cloud, the shadow that just went overhead here on this one here at this is 59 minutes ago, roughly an hour, as we're getting down to the last moments images, because I wanted to keep this very up to date so we can actually see what's building in these plumes like that, right? If I go right here, see if it'll do anything when I touch it right there. You know, that's an oddness, isn't it? Excuse me, I accidentally bumped my mic. Yeah, this is, I'm going to give you a worst case scenario because this is what I was asked to do. And it's a sensible forecast. So I'm gonna draw some lines down here in a few moments, and let you guys see the paths that are in existence for this flow to occur towards shore. And what's got to happen is, hang on a minute here. All right, you're gonna look at these degree lines, and when it gets to about 156 and a half, it's gonna run into a barrier of EMF, and that's going to turn it towards shore. It's got a little bit more over here to go and much further south. It'll go to about 24 and a half, 25 right over in here before she does her turn. You see how they blasted all the moisture out of this one? And it's really got an aiming beam towards this coastline here. It absolutely held it, held the storm. There's a beam on that side and a beam on that side, which you could see pretty well coming through. That's the one that whipped it. Because when they hit it with that big beam, it scattered a lot of water, and they had to add more water into the storm to sustain its motion even. And so the low itself is actually not this mass here, it's up here. Okay, so this has to come down to about here and over to about there. And so look at these lines with these numbers, they're very, very important. Bzzz, getting fried. Straya style. And that looked like some of this is coming from onshore. When you get that big blast like that, that came from onshore. It went right over the eye and destroyed it, basically. And it went from a cat, whatever the hell they were lying about, down to just a bare tropical storm. And even right now, if I look at the data on this, I think I've already got it pulled up. Well, I'll just do it again. If you look at the intensities, they're finally getting fair honest with the forecast. Look at the discrepancies here. They're 28 knots, 54, and 41. They're lying to us somewhere along the ways. Even the pressures are not matching up. And that should be a very definitive piece of data that all of them should agree upon. Wouldn't you say so? So I have a feeling that somebody is lying, and somebody don't want you to know what's going on. So I'm not going to go into that one too much. And I just showed you the mimic that I wanted to, and so I'm happy about that. And so I can stop showing that one. I haven't gotten this one going yet. This one got interesting. You're going to see a big blast, and this is more evidence of what went over the top of this storm. It went through a path like this, and it came from Newcastle. Right? If I mark the map here, you'll see a blast zone. And then I'll move it on and mark it again. Markingtons. Yes, we'll do the markingtons. Mr. Squiggles will come up here and we'll go with white. Right. Beam. Beam. It went all the way down. This is big. Right? This is a real big one. Right? At the same time, we have a triangulation, right? It's Newcastle. Newcastle fired their big device in two different directions, and that really made this area very safe, right? So that storm, I don't see how it can go up there right now. The EMF has it blocked. So when I mark my map, I go, okay, you ain't going there. This ain't going very far inland into this, right? That's blocked. There's big quake risk in this area here. You see where these waveforms have intersected? Yeah, and you had a big blaster out there yesterday that sounded like an explosion, right? We also have a beam from some device right here, because I've got a triangle, and that's not just the plume being put up by the storm itself. And something's come offshore here and hit a beam, right? Look, something's come offshore. So there's some devices in around here where I just pointed at. Could it be the 3 radars of Brisbane? Perhaps, perhaps, perhaps. So this is what I say when the localized NextRad is going to have a lot to do with this. And they've got that storm fairly held right now. That beam right there and that beam right there have this storm held. And it's being pushed south by this one. It's being pushed south. And it runs into a line here, right? It ain't getting past this. It goes a long way too. So really the fickle finger of fate has just pretty much pronounced where this is going to go. It has to me. And that is that. Because the EMF decides it all. And that is that. So now I'm going to show you the worst case scenario that could develop because of that, which I just showed you. That can go away. I don't need it. But watch the beam. Now if I jump this over a couple frames, here we go. Each one of these is an hour. Now an hour after that, you had this. Then the bzzzt. See it? Little fryer, I'll go back an hour, then on. Then another hour, and it's got the whole storm held. Still centered over this coast, right here, where I'm pointing. Yep, I ain't getting past this lane. That's Cape Byron right here. So the big line goes all the way across here. Look at this. Don't tell me they ain't manipulating moisture. Bzzzt. There's a ship over here too. And I'm picking up some evidence of moisture ejection. Whether they're putting a catalyst in the atmosphere that's capable of nucleating condensates real quick, or a ship that's capable of moving along in 5-meter swells. I'm picking up some, but these radars are lit up over here. So I know they're blasting. And I picked up where the NextRads were on over here, blocking the flow here, 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 and here. So I already know that, and I don't have to feel obligated to have to show every little thing that's in my mind when I look at stuff. So let's look at the insanity of this all. So to show you some of the moisture injection, which is what they call marine cloud brightening. I'll give you an example. Marine cloud brightening, Australia. And they do this all up and down the coast, not just the Great Barrier Reef. They just give you a quick peek. It'll show you, they got these things. And I'm just going to play this because it's here. You see this bolt? Yeah, you see that? No, it's a commercial where somebody punches somebody. Yeah, that's regretfully forbidden to do except in a boxing match. I don't feel like playing this video. Matter of fact, I probably will get pulled. Look at all the EMF in the skies over here. It has this look. This is what you'll end up seeing. And you see this thing here steaming it up. You got a bolt. Yeah, with stuff on it, with a barrel that's got a tarp over it so you can't see what's in it. And I imagine the people that believe what's on that label never test what's in the black barrel. And it's going in the sky. And well, when I see stuff like that going on, and I know about marine cloud brightening because it's litigated. It is. It's litigated in the Paris Agreement. You want to see it? CIGI 111, Geoengineering. Hey, look what I found. Right, I'll go over here and just grab this docky real quick. And it looks like it's loaded before. It'll go quick. If I go down here to page of this Paris Climate Governance Agreement, and I go down here where they want to, change the reflectivity and put, bounce sunlight into space, you'll see this here, low-level marine stratiform clouds, blah, 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 blah. But what do they propose to do? And so I have to come over here. right? To make water droplets. Put the water droplets go in the air. And of course, cloud condensate nuclei, and they rise into the base of the stratiform clouds and shrink through evaporation half their size. It's cold, it makes things shrink, right? But this is spraying stuff in the sky. Top cloud albedos, they also proposed how much oxygen gets put in the water. When you have a propeller, can you make a white path behind the propeller to reflect sunlight into space? Right? There's all sorts of ways proposed. This one here is the biggest of them all. Stratospheric aerosol injection. Look at this here, right? Potential delivery vehicles for stratospheric sulfur dioxide injection include aircraft, artillery shells, stratospheric balloons, hoses suspended from towers. At no point am I watching a silver iodide being suggested. And when I come down to this one, really bothers me right here. U.S. House Committee testimony, and I posted the document to this the other day where it says something about preformed particles and injecting them into the atmosphere. What is that there? Titanium oxide. Preformed particles. This is what we're talking about. And they're chemicals, and they're leaving a trail of clouds, so therefore they are chemtrails. Yes, chemtrails are real. Whether you want to admit it or not, fuck it, I don't even give a shit no more. All I know is this storm is being aimed and controlled, and boy, there are a lot of people on an anniversary 3 years ago of a terrible flood in an area that are now facing that situation again, and I'm going to go through it. Yeah, this is fucked up. One last view so I can shut one of these screens. You see this? This is the spot the moisture injection's going on. It ain't rotating around with the storm, is it? No, it is not. It is sustained. It is a sustained thing. And even on the satellite image that I was just showing you, and I come over here, and I go back, let's go back, we got a little definition to the cloud. Look at this one, right here. Look at the pulsations coming from over here. Watch this. Someone's puffing it up over here. HR puffing stuff. He's puffing some stuff in the atmosphere, and all Alpha is puffing it down. Yep. It's an odd little thing to be seeing that's not in the center of a storm. And when you look at the shadow, is that round? Or does that look like a very Hitlerian mustache? Yeah, only you can decide. Only you can decide. So, like I said, I'm going to go through some of this now. You want to just see the total ripper on this one? Where's this? Holy fucking shit. Yeah, that's not worst case scenario. Worst case scenario is and this is likely. I won't hope this happens, but you better prepare for stuff like this. If some of these tendrils that are coming over, you're going to be dripping 2 centimeters an hour. If some of these places don't start letting their dams down now, they're in big trouble. It's close to a meter of water slated coming your way on this worst case scenario forecast. This is actually the coastline. It's so dark here, you can't even see it. That's how much water's in the air here, and this stuff's going to be blowing. It's going to come ashore, looks like on Thursday, right around, I think it was evening my time, so that was, this was right about here, is when you're going to start feeling the rains very overnight on Wednesday night, or Thursday morning, like it hits midnight on Wednesday, your time. Yeah, weed heads, look at this shit. Oh, and then between these days, now watch these totals. I'm going to give you a 48-hour total. Whammo. Hey, this is what makes this so dangerous. Right? You ain't traveling up that road. You better have your fucking supplies. You better have your ark ready. And you better hope you don't need it. Because get your supplies now, and then you're going to be hunkering down. This is going to be a long event. The water's going to run for quite a while. This is the worst case scenario. Even the other scenario there is I don't see how it's going to make it past the EMF block that Newcastle put out. But even that amount of water, which is I would hope to only see, right, it's still too much. And if they don't start letting the water out of some of them dams around Lismore, where all that water's going to be running to, I'm going to be quite angry. This is the terrible tendrils that are being held off your shore. And that's just a 48-hour total. It gets worse. Look at Cuffs. As she goes out to sea, she's whipping tendrils in from out here because this storm is circulating. And that stuff that they're holding on this side of the storm here is what's going to come down coast. It's what's going to come in. You know, the center of that storm may hit here, but she's over 200 miles wide. You know, to drive from Brizzy up to here is about as wide as that storm is. So you'll get some rains up here, but you ain't going to get the big shebang. Thank God. Yeah, this is very stressful for me. I covered that storm 3 years ago. I've covered, this will be the third big major flood in that area I've covered in the last 10 years. That's a spit. That's when it comes inland and it hits the radars. And this is well possible. So I have to, again, as we get closer to the date, have to look at actually what are they going to show me on the radar? Are they going to even be online? It's like there's not a cloud in your sky over here. When I put on the 12-hour, though, I seen what the flows were today already. It's very light, but that radar is on. That radar is on. Grafton is on. Only flow of corridor is right through here. We know Brisbane is on. So what's allowed to come inland like this is through here. These totals are very, very likely. Yeah, when you get a meter of fucking water visiting you in 2 days' time, 3 days' time, what are you going to do with it? When it's already rained on the coast first. That water ain't going to have nowhere to go, Tweeds. Ain't going to have nowhere to go, Burley. Nowhere to go. Yeah, I'm getting upset. So let's just roll this. I'm going to bring it over towards the when it's calming ashore, because he's just going to hang out and pump some water in ahead of time because of the circulation, and that thing that's adding moisture in the atmosphere is fueling the disaster. There's no other way to put it. I ain't going to put pressures on because they're all lying about everything. Wind-wise, it's possible to hit this thing. Well, it's looking like about 68, 70 mile an hour winds when this thing first hits the shore coming in Wednesday night, your time. That's what it's looking like. With a pressure of 985, that would be to be expected. But they've been lying about the winds all along. I just showed you a graph at the beginning. One of them said it was like around 30 knots, and one of them said it was in the 50s. Yeah, they can't make their mind up even about what data is going on right this moment. So why are they lying to us? Because they have an agenda, I think, to get your land. Or maybe the store didn't quite have all the bread and stuff stocked up yet, so they weren't ready to tell you. Well, Northern Rivers, open up your dams early. People, make sure you got your shit right, because that's your first burp right there. A 6 a.m. my time gives you a nice dinner time hour, rush hour coming home on Wednesday. This is what faces you. And yeah, it's getting wet down Cuffs. But here's my area of concern. Where is it coming ashore? All right, let's wind it forward. Let's get you some winds. Let's put some winds on here. Boy, the surf's going to be fantastic. 45 mile an hour winds. Let's back it up a little bit. You see how weird shaped that eye is? At no point even is 70, 80 miles off your shore is this thing even at hurricane strength. And you guys all worried about a tropical storm. You're damn right you should be. There's the water totals this has in it is a tremendous amount of water. If you look at all the water in the world right now, which I should have loaded this ahead of time. Right, you'll see how much of it is parked over you as far as percentage, right? There's big pocket of water. Woo. That's erasing some data. What the fuck is that all about? Let's get the last moment before that disappeared. Let's see what they hiding. Yeah, did Harp fire? Yeah, look up here. See it? Harp has fired. That's what they're hiding. Yeah, see? Hiding the guilt. Hiding the guilt. Guilty. We need to doge their asses. Doge them, man. We gotta be doge our own self in the dojo. Welcome to Rob D's dojo. Here we go, a big pulsation here. That'll hold the polar flow up and force it down the United States and down over Europe. Well done. Well done there with the moving the jet stream. Yeah, that's HARP being used to move the jet stream. Yeah, I've seen it before. So that's what that was all about. That's a bust. Are we even rolling? Will it hit the Morton Bay area? Fuck yeah, man. Is that gonna bug you? Yeah, look. This is the wind coming over the Morton Bay area. Right. Oh, you talking about Morton Bay, England there, Blackpool. No, it won't hit that over here in England. Yeah, yeah, you guys gonna cop it, man. This is bad. Look at the waves you're gonna be facing on this shoreline here. Ooh, wipe out. Not as bad as over here, Clown Town. Yeah, yeah, this is the ones you've been waiting on for the surfers. Yeah, you've been waiting on this. This is just the waves. It's not even the swells. Yeah, da 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 da, and they're not swells. You want to see the swells? Yeah, I'll get you the swells. We can find the swells. It's so swell to find the swells. Swell one. It ain't too bad. Wait till this day though. High. Oh man, that ain't shit. Yeah, I'm worried about that. Nah, that make better sense. Yeah, but you're gonna have some ways to contend with. You're gonna have some wind to contend with. You got your own sanity to contend with and keep your own self sane. And I really appreciate people honoring me and respecting me, not asking for personal forecasts for their town areas during this event because I'm inundated with it. I've been getting quite a bit of them. I joked with one person today. I put 50 cents in a box. And I'm trying to assess the forecast for everybody. So if you feel free to watch this, or don't, I'm not forcing anybody. The radar's hiding an awful lot of clouds, ain't they? It'd be like there were no clouds here at all, even now, if you looked at your radar. I think it's time to get on them. Yeah, let's go through again some of the fuckery here that you can expect, because this is hard to do, right? So I'll take you through this real fast. Whammo, fuck. The amount of water in some of these tendrils is very high. Like over here at hey Stokers, there you go. Right at where these rivers kind of start there running, where the Sky Array is going to do its best. This is a terrible amount of water that's going to go through this town. Hey, so if you're at the Oral Cafe and over in the UK area and stuff, you better prepare. Get your stuff off the ground. I know you're up on a hill, but you still got Main Street to deal with. You still got that bridge over there. I'm sorry, I had to zoom back or something. I wanted to find this tendril. A tendril going inland, packing a meter, excuse me, a centimeter and 3/4 every hour. Every hour. It goes over you for 3 hours, man. You just picked up 100 mils and shit just in those amount of hours, and it had been raining for days anyhow. That's a gully washer, man. So you guys gotta be watching for this. This could go quite far inland. I can. This is more accurate. Yeah, that was for Higgins. I'm tired of him stealing my homer. Look at this tendril coming over your area here. This is more accurate. It's matching up with the maps that I've been drawing. Which I don't know if I feel like doing today. This is very depressing to do for me. This anniversary of this last time they had the problem here. This is terrible. And they're coming an hour. And that's not per hour, that's every 3 hours. I just wanted you to, but even that 3 hour total, divide it in your head real quick, and I'm over 2 centimeters an hour coming down here over Tweeds. What? 1, 2, 3, 4 hours of that, man. And you pick up 120 mils, it's going to run right on down to that shopping mall. And it's going to be lethal trying to get in that entrance down there, or whatever you call this thing down right here. The right here of it all. A great place to watch the surfing, though. But that's where you're going to want to go surfing, is right over here. The King's Cliff. Right here. That water's going to be running, man, as well. But this one here is worse. Oh, man. There's lots of houses and things along in here that I'm very, very concerned about. So you better react. And the fish and chip shop over down there, you better react. Because, man, the Grinch is coming to town. And I'm telling you what Alfie's all about. And it's all about geoengineering. If you look in the center of the storm here today, it's far from a natural look to it, isn't it? Far from natural. Like I had a nose and a head. Far from natural. Friar Island. Look at it in the center of the storm. You told me why you think this is a natural storm, because you can't prove to me that it is. It's being aimed and it's being brought right towards you guys. The biggest line that I see here in the EMF is where I think it's likely to be brought ashore, just based on the plasma nucleation, where sometimes it makes a boundary of separation, and it's pretty plain to see. A Shunga market comes right here, and she's coming down coast here. I didn't get enough of this in. And so really, the line of the barrier where it comes in is right here, and then it's got to spit its moisture off, and it's turning this direction. That's right. So it's going to spit it in front of itself even. This is not a good situation, because this wall of EMF right here, I'll bring that down a bit. This wall of EMF is going to make the storm hesitant to go inland, or creates a barrier of flow, which is really cutting off. My goodness, man, they really pinpointed your asses. Look at this pulse here. See that? That cut the passage off here. Because if a flow came through here just right yesterday, that storm wouldn't be able to go out there. It would have come straight down the coast. Yep, so they blocked it, and with this move right here. And that didn't come from an X-rad inland. That came from something right here. See that thing right there? Look, there's something there. So there is a device there. How did it say? All you had to do is there's two ways to triangulate this. You do the center of the arc and draw the rays in towards a point, or you do the square here, and then you crisscross that, and you find there's something there. And you even see an emanation point here with conicities pointing right at it. So you got a ship right there, wouldn't you say? Yeah, I made a big pulsation. Great big pulsations. And these are weather manipulation moves. So that's really going to encourage an eye to come ashore. You like to do this. So I'm very concerned on the northern edge of this following lines that I'm going to draw for you. All right. I didn't have it zoomed out enough to do that accurately. This is my today's determinants. And a beam could change at any time. And like that one that came and killed that thing. People were all like, oh, you got it wrong. Like, I ain't never been so fucking happy to see a storm dissipated. It's like this. And the flow line's like this. Hang on, something's not marking correctly. So things want to go out in this direction. They want to. It's going to be a want to. So when it gets to about here, if she's going to want to be in there, and we have a flow line down here, she can't get past right now. It's impossible. Has to come inland to get to it, to come out. There's no other way that can go. It's just how the flow works. So this is your big manipulator right here from Brisbane. Yep, and she sent some beams out. You see, you got one going there. You can see it in the haze. Go look yourself. Go look. Yeah, that's what I invite you to go look yourself, because it starts to get pretty easy to suss. Yeah, look at all the chem. This is tremendously bad. It's tremendously bad. So that really puts the landfall over here. Right in between, right here around between Clowntown and in here. You see the squares here? Yeah. So it's going to be some wide rain bands coming in, because like I say, this storm is quite wide. Even the eye part of this is, let me see if we can get a measure in this today. You know, the storm's width is fairly wide. You know, so it is covering a lot of distance. Yeah, I would see accurately about here. You know, we got a 200-kilometer long line. Let's call it 250 kilometers, right? Hey, so from this point here, you go 250 kilometers or 125 kilometers on each side. So let's draw a line for ourselves and see how accurate we can be here. Well, the eye itself, when it finally comes ashore, probably couldn't come right over the top of the Gimpy Pyramid. 200, 125. See, this is a rain influence area right here, big time. Even as she comes ashore, right? And we know that the rain's coming from that direction in. So the heavier shit's coming straight into here, and the natural shape of the mountains and the land itself is going to cause a split. My beautiful, blessed water, whose oneness is now being used to hurt. Forgive those that did it, and bless and cleanse the toxic lands and attitudes of people in these beautiful Gondwana rainforests, which I love. That's right. You know, we are all worried about your home. I'm worried about nests of birds. I'm worried about joeys. I'm worried about platypuses. Pushes getting washed out. I'm worried about koala bears. I'm worried about cattle. So go ahead and worry about your family pictures. And we got to look at the big picture here of weather manipulation. See how a beam went down that side? It's matching this one I show you on Mimic. Matches this shit. We can't make this up. Look at this. And then he added out a big heart blast. Oh, getting mad. I'm going to have to turn that off. I'm getting upset. We can't allow that to happen. Look at all the chem out here in the tropics. My God. Rows and rows of chem-bombed air while people stare at their phones with no cares. I scream and cry all day it seems while they swell the streams and kill the dreams right in the center of this piece of shit madness. So here's your worst case scenario totals. So I've gotten you in through Thursday. Here coming in through Friday. I hate to have to show this. I really do. You see how the center of the storm, it just walked right over the top of Gimpy. It just keeps right on fucking going. It hits the Gimpy radar, bounces off the coast. It becomes quite a victim of the Bradshaw effect, which one of these days you guys will figure out the power of the harmonizer. So I'll do a show soon. I want to show you some ones that might suit your lifestyles coming up. From Sacred Knowledge Energy Tools. You see, we're all waiting in a month, man, and this ain't done. But the circulation is, and it sets you up for kind of a long flow of where you're finally going to get some flows coming through here. It's going to set up a bit of dries from here. But once these pressures equalize this low over here, and this one should go towards the west, the high will redominate and go back across the top. So once again, I'm going to say you're going to be in for a period of wets coming on. It just looks like it, but I think the wet's going to about to shift towards the border area down here rather than up in the funk up here. Yeah, the far north Queensland. Okay, your totals now. Dun, dun, dun. Here we go. Whammo. Not so bad. Almost out of the woods over there. Port Villa and Fiji. But man, this is the moments of concern over here. Like, just play it out. I'd say that you're fucked in the old wooden bong, and the Willem and the Crabs Creep, and the Bing Bang Bada Bing Bang Bong, and the Kyogle, and the Euro Yogles, and the Casino Yogles, and all the Yogles. You know, you look at the wood burning over here from wooden bong to the wood burning, man, there'd be water, just enough water. My God, look at Belenda over here. Fuck yeah, now. You got, this is in the meter range of water. I ain't totally believing that shit. And what's falling over here is coming that way. It's coming that way to an area that already had the water. This is a bad situation. If they don't let the waters out of the dams, then let them be damned. They're trying to sell you like water is a short thing. Look into the primary water table. Primary water. Yeah, it's the water that's under the mantle. It's more than all the Earth's oceans. Because, man, this is all we got, folks. This is it. This is all we get. From sea to shining sea. From chem cloud to chem cloud. This is yesterday's last family picture. And even in the United States, where people are falsely claiming chemtrails have been ended, has not ended chemtrails. So take your pipe dreams and shove them up your ass. And let's fight this geoengineering while we still can. Before Elon Musk's AI singularity shuts us all down. Yeah, I tell you what, you told me they ain't in chemtrails. That's another one that really pisses me off. It's misinformation from so-called truthers. Well, I got news for you. This is within 150 miles of Washington, D.C. And there's chemtrails everywhere. There's military bases here. There's Navy bases. There's our brave boys in uniform are here getting poisoned. And I look at my whole world, and I can't find one uncontaminated spot. One spot where I zoom in on it, and I don't see the fryings, the Kambamskayans, and it ain't such a star in the sky to see here that twinkle twinkles. If I could make a wish upon that star, I'd make that star go away. Yeah, Mexico, chemtrailed. People say Costa Rica stuff. They get chem too. There is not one place in this fucking world anymore that has not been geoengineered. And as I look at today's storm, I'm in anguish knowing we're on near the 3-year anniversary of a flood that killed people. And it's been to do it again. While people deny geoengineering and everybody who warns about it, they give shit. Well, guess what? There's more shit coming your way, and it looks like this. This is what it looks like when a gas chamber comes to you. This is geoengineering. And whether you believe in it or not, it can kill you anyhow. That is all.